I close my eyes, and that moment still rushes back, making my heart race. I'm 65 years old, lying in bed, my husband of decades sleeping beside me, yet there's an ocean between us. The silence is so heavy, it suffocates me. Why do I feel so alone? I whisper into the darkness. That night, I made the decision. This marriage, this empty shell, has to end. If you've ever felt utterly alone, even while sharing a life with someone, please keep reading. Because this is the story of how a woman like me walked out of darkness into light. How after months of painful solitude, I found a good man who truly cared, who brought warmth and positivity back into my world. And believe me, hope is always waiting. Sometimes you just have to take the first terrifying step. My name is Layla. I'm 65 now, but my soul had been locked in a storm for far too long. 40 years ago, I married young, full of dreams. I thought love was like the fairy tales, endless, passionate, shared. My husband, Mehmet, was a decent man, hardworking, honest. Our children came, 2 daughters, 1 son. I lived for them, stayed quiet for them. Our home always seemed full. Laughter, the smell of home-cooked meals, family gatherings. But inside me, a void kept growing. Conversations with Mehmet became superficial. Weather, bills, nothing deeper. Touches turned mechanical, eye contact rare. At night, lying next to him, I felt like I was sleeping beside a stranger. Is this it? I asked myself silently. Loneliness is the cruelest companion. It devours you even in a crowded room. Everything exploded one winter evening. The children had moved out, grandchildren visited occasionally. Mehmet was glued to the TV. I was making tea in the kitchen. A voice inside me screamed, "This is your life? This loneliness?" That night, tossing in bed, I remembered a PDF a friend had sent me. Stories from Russell, that 75-year-old man who spent his life questioning beliefs, drawing wisdom from every faith, saying, "The mystery of life is bigger than any of us. Choose curiosity over certainty." His words had stuck with me. I started questioning too. Why was I enduring this emptiness? Why had I tied my happiness to someone else's approval? When morning came, I looked at Mehmet and said, "I want a divorce." The words left my lips and the world froze. He stared in shock. I cried. "Why? At this age?" he asked. "Yes, exactly at this age. Because even at 65, life can begin again." The divorce process was hell. Lawyers, courts, dividing assets. My children called, "Mom, think about it. You'll be alone." My daughters cried. My son got angry. Whispers from society echoed in my ears. Divorced at 65? She must have lost her mind. But inside, Russell's voice burned. Differences matter, but what truly counts is love, help, humility. I decided to help myself first. When the papers were signed, I felt free but shattered. I moved into a small apartment, alone. That first night, I curled up in bed and sobbed. Loneliness attacked like a beast. The first months were pure torment. Waking up to an empty table, preparing breakfast for one, watching TV in silence. Shopping, I'd see his favorite cheese, the meals we used to cook together. Memories haunted every corner. Nights were sleepless. In the dark, I'd ask, did I make a mistake? Loneliness felt physical, knots in my stomach, pressure in my chest. Friends called saying, "It'll pass with time." Time? Every day felt eternal. A few times I almost dialed his number but stopped. Russell said, "In crisis, pray, talk." So I talked, to myself, to the mirror. "You're strong, Layla. This solitude will rebirth you." The hard days dragged on. 1 month, 2 months, depression lurked at the door. On a doctor's advice, I started walking in the park. I sat alone on benches, watching birds. One rainy afternoon, I ducked into a bookstore. Browsing shelves, I found books like Russell's, different faiths, philosophies. I bought one, went home, read. "Every belief holds some truth," it echoed. I tried everything. I visited a mosque and prayed, joined a meditation group and learned silence. Loneliness was still there, but it became a teacher, not an enemy. I rediscovered myself. Hobbies long buried, painting, gardening. I filled my balcony with flowers. Each bloom felt like a seed of hope. By the third month, I was still struggling. One evening, eating dinner alone, tears fell into my plate. Is this my new life? But the next day, everything shifted. I was walking in the park as usual. The air was fresh after rain, birds singing. I sat on my favorite bench, opened my book. A man approached, older, but with bright, kind eyes. "Excuse me, is that Russell's book? I've read it too," he said with a warm smile. I was surprised. His name was Erkan, 68, a retired teacher. We sat and talked. He was widowed, lost his wife 5 years earlier. His voice was calm, attentive. "I question life's mysteries too," he said. We spoke about Russell, beliefs, loneliness. Hours passed unnoticed. Erkan was positive, full of light. "Loneliness shapes us," he said, "but sharing makes life beautiful." When we parted, we exchanged numbers. The next day he called, "Would you like coffee?" I said yes. Our first meeting was at a cozy cafe. We talked for hours about our children, grandchildren, dreams. He listened, really listened. Unlike Mehmet, he looked into my eyes, asked questions, smiled genuinely. I felt something stir inside me, a feeling I'd forgotten for years. My heart raced, my cheeks flushed. Is this what falling in love feels like? I wondered. Days turned into weeks, meetings became frequent. Erkan was caring. He called, texted, brought small surprises. One day he arrived with flowers. "To color your solitude," he said. We walked in the park, hand in hand. He saw life positively. Past pain prepares us for the future. We shared Russell's philosophy, discussed faiths openly. He was Muslim. I came from a Christian background, but it didn't matter. "Love is the same in every faith," he said. After those lonely months, this man felt like a gift. Nights were no longer filled with fear, but with excitement. When my children found out, they were surprised but happy. "Mom, your eyes are sparkling again." Of course, it wasn't perfect. Old wounds surfaced during our first arguments. The fear of abandonment returned, but Erkan was patient. "Let's talk. Let's understand," he'd say. We even went to counseling together, at 65. There, we dug into the roots of my loneliness. Russell's words guided us. Stay curious, stay humble. Erkan completed me with his care, his positive energy. We traveled together to the seaside, watching sunsets. In those moments I thought, I'm so glad I left. The lonely months had prepared me for this love. Now, a year later, we're together. Maybe we'll marry, maybe not. What matters is the sharing. My children and grandchildren are joyful. I was reborn at 65. Loneliness was a door. Behind it stood a man like Erkan. Like Russell, I say, the mystery is vast, but love solves everything. My story is one of hope, from isolation to real connection. If you're reading this, believe me, you can take that step too.